Mama, hold that. Hold
Oh
that.
no,
Hold
good. No, keep it going,
it. Oh,
bro.
you talking? You
Yeah,
recording?
yeah. I'm already going.
Okay.
Keep going there. Don't forget.
If his grandpapa was one that always kept people around him, made them work,
Mhm.
and he never would do nothing but ride his horse, even if they was in the field. He would ride around and see that everybody else worked, while he never did work. So that's the part we couldn't understand. And I don't know how. Where did the old woman find out Grandpa paid? She got a daughter that live in Shreveport. Her name was Rosalie, and then he had somebody else that was with him, Charlie Lee. We didn't know who Charlie Lee was, but he was there with Grandpapa. So they were gonna have to work. I don't care who was there; they was gonna have to work. So anyway, finally, Miss Agnes moved in there. She had three children, two girls and a boy. So she lived in a little house. He had a little house, not for, like Walgreens house from his house. And he wanted, he's gonna keep somebody in them houses. So when she moved there, she worked, I don't know how many years she stayed there. But see, T, we was all going to school together.
And T is who?
After we married,
The second time.
yeah.
Okay.
So, see, me and T, I guess was close together in the age. All I know, we went to school. He'd make her dress, wear them long dresses, stockings. Anyway, we asked him, Grandpapa, why you make her dress like that? Well, I make a dress like that so none of the boys won't want them. So, well, we still in. Anyway, we ain't had no thought about him thinking about T for himself. But after Miss Army Lee moved away, T had stayed there with him, so that just meant Alton and the other girl went on with the mama, and T stayed there with Grandpa. So next thing we know, Grandpa and T was getting married. So we was shocked then. But George always done what he wanted to do,
Well.
all except working. And see, the house he was living in was a great big old house. It had a well in it, big old well where you draw his water from on the rainwater. It wasn't like you dig a well from the ground.
Okay.
So then you had to go another distance down before you got to the kitchen. So that was Grandpapa till in the later years, I don't know how many years, but after he married her, he decided to buy his casket. They paid $11 for that casket.
Mm-hmm.
So by this house being so big, it had a big hall one side. So that's where he put that casket over in that other side over there. We scared to go in there because the casket was in there. So after we got used to the casket, we'd go in that room and play or whatever we wanted to. We wasn't worried about that casket anymore. But later years after, see, Grandmama moved over there in the quarter where we were, this shared little house down behind us. That's where she stayed. So I don't know, we always wondered, Uncle Mike, grandmama married the second time. We wonder, how did she meet Uncle Mike? Because see, Uncle Mike lived way down the road, you know, that Smoney Road.
What kind of road?
Smoney.
This is in
That was
Keachai.
the road when we come from Keachai and we come down to Smoney Road and we come on down to our house when we were living down there by Flower Hill. So we just didn't know how. I always wondered, how did them two meet? Because I ain't never know grandmama do them just go to church and go back to George's house. So that part had us confused. We just couldn't know. How did them two people meet? So see,
And Mom, this grandma you talking about, that was Grandma Eliza?
yeah, that's her up there. So anyway, we couldn't figure that out. But see, Grandpapa, he was gonna boss her after she left him.
Mm-hmm.
And so Uncle Mike started coming to see Grandma. So Grandpapa didn't like that. You know, he always wore 45 around his waist.
Mm.
Even if he go around town with them old pretty white folks wore. He wore that 45. He get in that buggy, go downtown, and he had that 45 on, and he had a Winchester. He put that in behind him in that buggy or wagon, wherever he went. That's where he went. So he said he'd go down there. I don't know how he could shoot so good. But he did get out in Grand Canyon. And he start shooting them wild down. He said, them white women, you know, in that day they all wore them long dresses. He said they would wear them dresses and get them up and get to running. I guess they thought they was going to be shot in there. So he said when he do that, he'd get in that way and come on back home. So he stay home. My dad said he was about 2 weeks or more after he do those kind of stunts. That he'd put the mules that way, son, go on down in Grand Canyon and see what them white folks saying. So, Dad said he would have to go down Grand Canyon. So I don't know how he was going to know what them white folks were saying, but that's what he had to do, see what them white folks saying. And Dad said he do that and come on back home when he get ready. Then he going back downtown again. But see, he's gonna be tough with Uncle Mike. See, Uncle Mike was tough too. So he didn't mind using his gun too. So he came over there gonna bluff Uncle Mike. So he was gonna stand where he wouldn't come back. Uncle Mike kept on coming just like George hadn't said nothing. So after he found out he couldn't run Uncle Mike off, he let him alone. He didn't come over there trying to bluff him anymore.
So he was already married to Grandma T, but he didn't want nobody messing with Grandma or great Grandma Eliza.
Right. He's
Yeah.
gonna still boss her even if they had been separated.
And about what year was this?
Oh, no.
Well, how old were you, Elise? You remember?
That was when that happened, I guess I was something like 10 or whatever years old.
So when
Oh,
was it?
you- I was
1934.
Uh-huh.
Way
Yeah,
after.
it was way back in 30s.
Okay, and so what the part of the family tree that we get mixed up all the time is in regarding Uncle Raymond and his siblings. Grandma T is Uncle Raymond and his siblings' mother. Is that correct?
But see, when he married T, that's how Raymond them came in.
Okay.
It was about 8 of them or whatever. So,
But before Grandma T, that was Grandma Eliza. How many children did she have?
she didn't have no children. All her children by Grandpa.
That's what I'm saying. How many children did Grandpa George and
Eliza, how many children did George and Eliza have?
Oh, I ain't care. Let me see, I said, so it, Lake, Ollie, Rosalie, Sam. That's who I'm talking about.
Let me show that plate.
So I know that all of these names are not
See, that's
children.
that's why ain't better than them came in.
And Betty's a part of the first, was the first
Yeah.
set of children.
Yeah,
So-
and that was where I stopped at. Aunt Betty and
You have a Wade,
yeah, boy, you can Sam,
okay, Lake,
Lake,
Callie.
right?
I have a Brett,
What?
Britt, Britt.
Okay.
Is that a son?
I don't know who Bree is.
Okay, so I this plate is not accurate. There's a Lonnie listed here.
London B don't go. Them London don't supposed to be on there.
Okay, and Uncle Raymond is his son by way of Grandma T.
Right.
Okay, so when I'm trying to get this first.
Yeah, that's
Seven
why I was
children.
trying to name the first one.
Uh,
Dad, on Daddy's side.
it has Laura, but Laura's grandma. So that wouldn't be grandma. That wouldn't be Papa Joe's daughter. That's his daughter-in-law.
Right.
Then Mary's on here.
That's his daughter.
That's his daughter.
That's the fake grandmother.
Okay. Then Verna.
Verna, that's what T's name, Verna T.
Okay, Verna T. I didn't know that. Leon.
See, that's Grandpa was cheering by the second
Okay. JT.
wife.
Adele.
Who?
Adele. A-D.
Adele, yeah, that's second wife.
I know Noon's the second wife.
Right.
Sam is from Mama Eliza. Grandmama Eliza.
The old one, yeah.
Right, first wife.
Mm-hmm.
Then Johnny.
That's Grandpa was by the second.
Then there's another JT listed, but it said deceased.
That's T's son.
T's son. Or Lee.
That's the one I'm talking about in Shreveport.
Now,
Yeah, I guess that she's still living.
okay.
That was the outside child.
Then Adine.
That's the grandpapa and Keith. Dean.
Adine, okay.
So this is the, and so on Ancestry, so just making the connection, Ancestry lists only Callie, Mary, Sam, Betty, wife Liza Collins. So that, and then so,
No, that's the more.
all right, so that's why I was making the connection. So with Ancestry, George Collins born December of 1872.
It said something like that.
Yeah, all right, gotcha, okay. It's kind of going with the census reports here. Now, this was a census from 1900. Those children may have been born after, obviously were born after 1900. So if I go to 1910, if I go to 1920, there'll be more children that will show up under his name. Long as he's alive, long as, if he was the head of household, each time in Ancestry, you're going to see more children listed.
Right.
Okay.
So then, Mom, you stated that there were some children that who were, I guess, outside children,
That was over Lee.
or Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and you talked about some that kind of showed up that y'all didn't know existed?
Yeah, like Island Lake, we didn't know that was Grandpapa's children until we got old.
Okay.
So they would be outside children too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's about it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. So you got a lot of history. So I'll just ask you a couple other questions. Um, hold on. I got to put them together. I'll edit this out, so don't worry. What do you remember about Kichai growing up?
Uh, Working in the field, 25 cents a day. So you be out there all day, they give you a good meal with that 25 cents. So it was the brothers, they was Mason brothers. They built a little shotgun house. We was way down in the woods. They had to come out 3 miles, but me and Roberta said it was 5. And he had 2 shotgun houses down there. Dad moved in one, couldn't hard moved in one. So that made all of us be in the field together when we go to these Masons to work. So we went there, we heard that one of the Masons was giving 50 cents a day. So when we got to our Mason, that brother, we told him we wanted 50 cents a day. So he agreed to give us 50 cents a day. So anyway, when we got in that kitchen, she had such a little